Welcome to the Neuromasters Podcast, the place to reinvent yourself, master your mind, and change your life. Internationally recognized speaker, coach, and trainer Reg Malhotra will teach you tools to improve your mindset, change your behaviors, and let your relationships thrive. Are you ready to unlock the power of your mind? Here's your host, Reg.
I'm of the genre that I believe you only go as far as your beliefs. You only go as far as your identity. You will never exceed your identity. If I identify as, somebody who's, broken, then my behaviors will reflect that. When I grew up with all of that incidents that happened in my life, I used to walk around like a 19, 20, 21-year-old telling everybody I'm lucky to be alive. I should be seeing a mental health therapist. And that was my identity. So I could only do limited scope of things in my life. Now I have an identity that says, well, I can have and do what I want, and that I do things that are important to me. So what I've done over these 2 days for you is, Dan, you can identify as that. But I think when you identify as someone, look at the belief structure. What do you actually believe? What are your true beliefs? Because your results and your actions are the external of your belief system. So what I've attempted to do in such a short time is have you get privy to some new beliefs. Now, it's up to you if you choose them, right? So look at what I'm doing. Now, when you work with a client, and if you've seen Susanna or Erica, when they're talking to you, they're also making sure that they are suggesting some new beliefs. There's a show called Third Rock from the Sun. Who's ever watched that? That was my sort of go-to just to relax, because I just find that guy so funny. And one of my favorite shows ever. And as silly as it is, there was something very fabulous that I took away from that. You know what that is? This metaphor, this idea that these purple tubes, aliens, have come to Earth. And they have to step into a physical human body. And their goal is to take information about how humans do things back to the big giant head who's in another planet. And it's so fabulous how these guys, what they show is that as in the human body, they have to take on certain jobs just so they can get the human experience. They have to live in the human body to see what happens. And it's so fabulous to watch how they're a blank canvas. If you were that purple tube and you came on planet Earth and you live in the body, if you were a purple red tube, I can't believe I'm just saying that. And you come into planet Earth and you come in a human body, you are a completely blank canvas. And I'm going to ask that question of you guys now. Please allow yourself to speak on this. What beliefs will you have? Because I'll tell you my answer, and you'll certainly find it on the podcast. But I'm asking you right now, you're a purple tube. You have been sent by the big giant head to planet Earth. You got to take a human body, and you get a chance to start now. And you come in as an adult, a man or a woman, it don't really matter. You have to take a certain job. All of that doesn't matter. Put it aside for a moment. What beliefs would you like to have now? You want to talk about identity? I could talk about identity all day, because that's had the biggest impact in my life. Come on, anyone. And what belief would you like to have? And please, it doesn't only have to be about money. What belief would you like to have? So Jenna says, I can do or have anything that I want. Sure. Abundance and limitless. Anyone else? As well. You can raise your hand. Manny, come on. I'm going to call out names. Manny, you're a purple tube. You're on planet Earth. You got this body of this Emmanuel guy. You have no history. Nothing. You have no history. You're from another planet. But you come here, you got to take some information. Manny, what's at least one or two beliefs you will say, you know what? I'm going to keep these beliefs because I can have them. What is it?
I would be a world traveler. Just absorb as much as I can.
Sure. So the belief will be, I can be a world traveler because I can. Is that what you meant? Sure.
Yes.
You can have that belief. What about you? I'm going to be Oprah right now. You get a belief. You get a belief. You get a belief. Everybody gets a belief. Gary.
Yeah, I just believe that I could do whatever I want and help anybody I wanted to, and nothing would be able to hold me back.
Right. That's a great belief. I tell this story often. You'll hear my stories repeatedly everywhere. I apologize in advance if you hear it on the podcast, on YouTube, on Reels. It don't matter because I know exactly. I'm very solid on what I believe in. Here's a story that I tell a lot. I was in a public restroom once where I live. And I've been to that public restroom multiple times because I've gone to that shopping mall and end up going to that one. And there's always this older guy. He looks about mid-50s, who's always standing there with a little broom pan and a dustpan. And he sits there and his body's like this. He stands like this most of the time, like this. He's always there. People come into the restroom and they leave. And he's just cleaning. He looks pretty everyday person. I asked him one day, I said, how long have you been working here? He goes, 8 years. I said, in this restroom? He goes, yeah. I said, this particular one? He goes, yeah. So do you like it? He goes, it's okay. It's okay. All right. Man, he's living in one of the richest countries on earth. He's able, his body works. He said, I said, any issues in your life? No. Now, I'd have to argue. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. We need somebody to do every job. But if he said to me, yeah, Rich, I love it. This is great. Easy work. But his body told me that he absolutely detests it. What else his body told me? That he feels he has no other choice. I don't know. I just read it from the body. Now, I'm asking you, what belief system would he have to clean? I'm not saying that people shouldn't do that. Some people do that. But if he doesn't like it, he's doing it for 8 years in the same restroom, cleaning toilets after people do the toilet. What belief system would he need? Who's going to guess that? I can tell you, I'm assuming here, the guy doesn't like what he's doing. So there definitely doesn't care element. If it was there, I would have picked up. Definitely doesn't like. The guy looks half dead. Right? So I had a few chats with him, and here are some of the fear of failure. Imani, not worthy. Maybe it doesn't care. Not comfortable with change. Neil, brilliant. Scared of change. Brilliant. It doesn't help the fact that he also was, a migrant. Now, let's break this down. I worked with a lot of people and I know there's a commonality. Here are some of the very likely beliefs. It's hard to get anything better. I couldn't do anything that requires higher skills. There is not enough jobs around. There is not enough opportunity. How will I go about it? Where do I start? Nobody will listen to me. Guys, there is no reason in today's world for someone to do something they hate that much, and that involves being inside 8 to 10 hours a day inside of a public toilets if you don't want to be. The only time you would do that, and I'm telling you, there's some nasty stuff in that restroom. Like, that's sickening. So I'm thinking there are beliefs, and then a lot of people who could be new to a country or whatever like that, they could have even worse beliefs. So what happens is there's a belief system. The person who is out there kicking goals, I'm telling you, they have a belief system that there is, opportunities about opportunities. There are 3 types of belief systems, I would argue. One is about self. One is about opportunities. And one is about possibilities. After this training, you can audit your beliefs in all 3 areas. So if I was a purple tube and some of you answered, and I came to planet Earth and I have the choice to have any kind of beliefs, and it's a blank system, I have no history, Would you like to know what beliefs I would have? Let me get into what I would have. I've thought about it so much. Number one, that people are fucking amazing. I'm serious. That people are, I listen, I have a choice. Because what happens when you have a certain belief? You see more evidence. So I would have the belief that people are amazing. Behind that mask, there is an incredible soul. People are magnificent. Number two, about myself, I would have very specific beliefs. And my beliefs will be, I will actualize my path, my purpose, my values. Because I can. Ain't nobody stopping me. That's the sort of belief I would have. Belief is a starting point. Two, that no matter what God's given me, no matter what I've got, I can do a lot with it. You see where I'm going with this? These are the core beliefs about opportunities. I only believe, by the way, I only believe now that there is so much for everybody. Anything to the contrary comes to my mind, it deleted, doesn't even enter. Sure, people can say to me, Raj, what about Africa? Well, unless I'm out there working in Africa, helping, right now the best thing I can do is fill my cup and educate and train enough people that can do what they want to do. I have to decide what my belief's going to be. Now I only see opportunities or possibilities all the time. So my actions connect with that. Does that make sense? But people has to be in there. If I believe people are bad, oh, it's a dog-eat-dog out there. People are scary. It's tough out there. Well, I'm going to actualize that. When it comes to clients and students, and I know what stops us from having these beliefs. That's why I said, assume no history. What stops us from having these beliefs is our past references. You agree, Gerald? Gerald, you've been in this field. You know what I'm saying, yeah? And so we're saying the opportunity to clean it up so you can have, listen, my behavior should reflect my beliefs, and I promise you it is reflecting my belief system. If I woke up every day and say there's not enough, if I woke up every day and people are bad, will I walk like this or will I walk like this? Of course I'll walk like this because I'm scared. I believe what God's given me, I got to use it and I can build upon it. Some other beliefs of mine you've already heard. Anything we conceive, we are more than that. We have incredible neurological connections. We can learn endlessly. These are all belief systems. These are all belief systems. Sometimes our parents and our communities and our experiences change our belief systems. I believe in magic. I believe in treasure. I believe in the possibility for my clients and my people. So I'm asking you, you can go and do that. If you want to be reminded of that, you can listen to that particular podcast. I've gone in a bit of a rant on that one. I got a lot of emails about that one. But you can sort of think about that and be liberal with yourself. You don't need permission to have these beliefs. And if you're looking for permission and if you think you need permission, there you have it. Seriously. If you want to believe certain things about money, I mean, what's your belief system? At least decide you can have that belief. Now, neurologically, at the unconscious level, you may have an opposing belief. There's work you can do to squash that, remove that all, so that it all becomes congruent.
Thank you for tuning in today. Are you ready to take the next step and find out what's keeping you from reaching your goals and creating the life you want? Go to go.neuromastersacademy.com/GS-LP for a free transformational mini workshop with Reg. See you next week.